Alright guys, Kazoo71 here, ARK Survival Ascended. Today's the 3rd. Let's talk about this update that came out last night, or right before I went to bed. So went ahead and downloaded the update, did a little check, but this was July 2nd update. So let's go over a couple of these things, guys. I'll give you guys a link of where it is on the community page and the forum if you're interested in going read it yourself. But I'm going to cover a couple of these things. Just want to talk about them. So Summer Bash, of course, is out. That's the top thing there. And Club ARK has received a summer makeover, adding the Love Ascended and Summer Bash cosmetics to the store. I don't do Club ARK. That's basically official. So gameplay changes and quality of life. Let's talk about these because these are the most important things I think in this update besides the Ragnarok things. So Phoenixes are now breedable. Previous Phoenixes in single player will be updated to automatically updated to be a male. So just so you know, if you already have Phoenixes, they'll be updated. Phoenix Fire Attack no longer damages mounted players. Added option to keybinds in the settings for this. Now, this one is really important, and then we're going to stop and talk about this one. The Ankylosaurus, the Doedicurus, and the Dunkleosteus have now been given an option called Harvest Only, which will only harvest the resources selected. This can be toggled while mounted via the action wheel, which is R. Now, on PC PlayStation or Xbox, I don't know what that action wheel is. Probably the center key on your controller. But let's talk about this. Let me show you guys a quick little clip here. Here's the Ankylosaurus, and I got on it just to see what would happen. But let's just see. If you hold down, you see this one right here. So I'm doing the left click, and it's got 3 options. It's got metal, flint, or stone. That's it. Now, if you're on it and you hold down the R, you're going to get this option here. And then there it is right there on the right. Click on that. And then when you open it up at the top, you're going to have that same harvest. So you can set it to just those. And that'll stop you from harvesting all those extra berries and stuff like that if you're just looking for one thing. So let's get back to the actual updates here. Now, the other one, they removed the poker table from Bob's Tall Tales based on a content to comply with ESRB rating requirements. Probably has something to do with gambling and stuff like that. Equip the armor durability is now displayed in the extended HUD. Added a quick select feature for building. While you are placing a structure, pressing the quick ping keybind on a place structure will swap to placing that structure if you have one available. I don't understand that, so we'll have to take a look at that and probably do a video on that later. Quetzal movement speed increased. Spinal health scaling increased. Mammoth health scaling increased. Bronto health scaling increased. Pyromane DOT duration has been reduced. Fasciosaurus damage scaling is increased. Dreadmare's damage scaling increased. Basilisk damage scaling reduced. So everything else is increased. And the big giant bug, I can't ever say that one, is clamped to 74.5 on official servers. So on PvP enabled servers, all buffs from the tribe tower have now been doubled. On PvP enabled server, weapons can no longer be equipped by mounted players on Megalania, Rock Drakes, and Ravengers. Similar to the big bug on unofficial. So there you go. You got a little bit there. Let's talk about the Tesla Coil's Bright mode has been reworked to apply 99% slow instead of a stun, eliminating dismounts and flyer grounding. The Ling can now use Titan Boa Venom as well as Nameless Venom to poison enhanced feathers. Yiling's feather enhancements now last for 10 minutes from 5. Yiling's tame damage scaling has been increased. Poison Wyvern damage scaling has been reduced. Dreadnought HP scaling has been reduced. Dreadnought's Titan Slayer buff only activates when they are in Dreadnoughts are nearby. Wyvern milk buff duration has been reduced. Consuming Wyvern milk now applies a 5-minute cooldown. Does not apply to raising babies. Torpor applied by wooden clubs and aqueous unicorns that now penetrate armor more effectively. They fixed most cases where projectiles could pass through tech force field. Lightning Wyvern's breath no longer destroys armor durability, similar to ASE, ARK Survival Ascended. Evolved. Mech blueprints have been re-enabled. The beam attack on mechs wearing the Power Rangers Mega Sword costume has been reduced. There's a bunch of this that has to do with the Power Ranger stuff. I'm not going to cover that. You guys can read that stuff. Door structures no longer exert enemy foundation control. Taming dummy placement limited to reduce to 20 from 150. That's crazy. I don't even use those. Training dummy can no longer be placed on platform saddles. Telekinesis skill can now access tribes' own creature inventories. I think that has to do with the Noglin. I don't know. Noglin's not out yet, so I don't know what that is. You guys know what that is? Let me know. Tech bunker stack reduced 5-1. Increase the chance of heat wave weather on scorched earth. That's just great. Love the heat wave. Owners of a template hammer building template can now destroy it via multi-use wheel, which is usually the or the one next to the enter key, which is a little apostrophe thing. This guy, I can't say this thing, but friends now transfer harvest items to companions, and their tundra power also increases range damage. They added tech saddles to Drakelings, adjusted Drakelings Dragon Horde chests to drop slightly less tech items. Drakelings no longer store HP or gift of knowledge when killing tame creatures. Now that's all the in general game quality of life stuff. Let's talk about Ragnarok. Changes in fixes. Let's talk about a couple of these. I'll just cover them all real quick. But they added the Archelon, the Giganotoraptor, and the big giant bug. They added blue gems, fungal wood, aggravate mushrooms, and arcuric mushrooms, which is cool. They fixed the bisons not respawning correctly. Fixed temperature not rising during the day. They fixed the daytime transition audio stinger not responding to audio sliders. They fixed an overly red morning and sunset events. Those were really crazy. I know what they're talking about on that one. Dreadmire's Dark Altar not working. They fixed the Pyromane being killed to the Jungle Dungeon's lava. Fixed rafts getting stuck traveling in parts of the ocean. That is very important. I have yet to test that because I'm on a regular raft, but that is what I was complaining about the most, aside from the inventory not being able to split stacks. Reduce the weather event frequency. Fix no snowfall during rain within the snow biomes. Fix missing rain VFX effects during electrical storms. Extend the no build radius outside the labyrinth to prevent players from blocking it. You know, jerks. Added missing crystal nodes. They fixed palm fronds that were not pick-upable. I don't even know if that's a word. That's pretty funny. Fixed incorrect sapling scale in redwoods. Missing textures in the labyrinth. They fixed cases underwater clutter would appear on land. Entire map appearing covered in snow during after dying in the boss arena. Fixed water appearing darker and brighter depending on the camera angle. That's all these optimization changes, right? Several trees that were missing collisions and could not be harvested. Rocks missing collision. Supply crates spawning in the mesh. That's funny. An issue that caused players to get teleported outside of the Saventil Lighthouse. That's one of those new lighthouses, I think, or the old one. I can't remember. Light showing through the landscape on Hibber's Summit. Various visual tweaks and various mesh holes. Now, there's a lot of bug fixes, guys. I'm just going to kind of scroll these a little bit. I'll cover them all. I mean, I'm talking a lot, but that's just kind of how this goes. They fixed a case where changing settings in-game sometimes cause actors to appear invisible. Oh my gosh. That's a good fix because that was annoying the heck out of me. Everything disappearing. Issues caused by structure renders, kill milestone cases where progressions were not counting some of the creature variants. The cat dossier not unlocking. I actually tamed a cat yesterday and unlocked fixed Drakeling Dragon Horde. Skill points on the hotbar preventing server transfers. So there's just a lot of things, guys. I'm not going to cover all these. I've already covered a lot. But here's another one. Fixed damage, bison damaging thatch when mounted. Missing tooltip information and inventory sort button. That's great. They still hadn't fixed the be able to split stacks thing. You can't do the right click anymore. And some other things here. Fixed lighting in underwater caves. Issue with the Shastasaurus to constantly turn around during taming. cat animations that cause its paws to stretch. I mean, just some weird stuff, guys. A lot of little bug fixes, but there are quite a few of these guys. We're not going to cover all these guys. It was more important about the quality of life things and the fixes they did to Ragnarok, and then a lot of Ragnarok, and a lot of these at the bottom are just Power Ranger stuff. So when you get down to the bottom of the stuff. And then, of course, they fix multiple exploits, which they always do. So they fixed a lot of stuff. Let's hope this stuff actually works, and it's some cool things that they did. If you guys got any comments, or if you know a couple of those things I mentioned I don't know about, let me know. I appreciate you guys. Hope this was helpful. And if you guys got any comments, please make them. And if you haven't, please subscribe and like the video if you like. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you next time.